Hi, here it is, Monday, January 17th. We're on day 17 with our fabulous day of rest yesterday. And today is the day we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King's Jr.'s birthday. So it's kind of an amazing day because A, it's a full moon, which for those of us who were born under the sign of Cancer, and I am double Cancer, which means, yes, I am really emotional. That is part of who I am. So it really supports what I'm doing in the world. Oddly enough, I found out that it really supports taking care of yourself, which I got to do this weekend. So that was really cool. And the other thing that's really, and I think I have to just turn this around like this to show you, this is the snow on my back deck. So it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And today's conversation is really, it's about 14 things, but I really want to make it about Dr. King because I really want that conversation to be what brings more light. Because if you think about how much light he brought to the planet, I mean, it defies trying to contain it. So there were a couple of things that I was doing as I was thinking about Dr. King and what I wanted to say in terms of connecting his work in his life to what we're talking about, which is bring more life to your 2022. And I realized, oh my gosh, this conversation we've been having about, you got to be safe, because if you're not safe, game over. And you got to get to the point where no matter what is happening, you go, oh, that's good. This is going to help me even if I hate it, to get to your frontal cortex so that you can create remarkable results and move through your life and bring more light and everything. And I thought, you know what? The thing that is so clear for me is how much Dr. King did exactly that. Now, he might not have ever used that language, and he might not have ever thought of it. I don't know. I can't tell. But I tell you what, when you think about his life, it shined right in my face exactly how true that was for him. So, number one, he decided, he claimed that he was safe. He wasn't safe. He was not safe. I found out this morning that in 1957, he was at a bookstore signing a copy of his book for a crowd. And a woman came up to him, walked up to him and said, "Are you Dr. King?" And he said, "Yes." And at that point, when he said yes, she had a letter opener in her hand. She stabbed him in the chest with a letter opener. Now, I never knew that story, but I heard that story. I saw that story this morning. If he had sneezed, he would have bled out. In 1957, he wouldn't have lived to create all the amazing things he created. But he decided that he was safe. And even though he was hospitalized and even though the woman was arrested, he made sure that his statement was, this is a woman who needs care because she is ill. And he was safe. That just blows my mind. That just blows my mind. And I wanted to be sure I told that story today because, nothing like that's ever going to happen to us. We are mostly, in this country, we can claim ourselves safe on some level, even though it is not always true. But when we, like Dr. King, claim ourselves safe, then we become fearless in the face of what we are here to do. And that makes all the difference. That blew my mind this morning. The second thing is, if you get past safe, okay, now you get to hear your amygdala, your emotional regulator here. And is this good or bad? If it's bad, game over, you can't play. I mean, you have to handle bad. He claimed that whatever happened to him was good. It was good. It served his purpose. It served his mission. It served his community. I didn't know, although I wasn't surprised when I read this morning, that he was jailed 29 times. They kept arresting him and he kept coming back because you know what? Whatever happened, it was good. It was good for what he was here to do. And he wasn't afraid. Always, 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 I have been inspired by his work since I was young. I mean, I remember 1963. I remember, 1968. I remember all those things because I lived through them. And I am continually inspired by people who defy the odds. And Dr. King was absolutely, and we all know this. We all know this. We all know what happened when he got to his frontal cortex. We all know what kind of a light he's shown on this planet that we are still basking under today. We are still inspired by today. So, in this January 2022 full moon, I can tell you that I'm still working on recovering. I'm still working on self-care. And this was an important message to get out today. So there's not a whole lot of work I'm going to do. I'm going to be celebrating his birthday, and I'm going to be taking the time for self-care today. And I was blown away by how closely Dr. King's life and work reflects what we're talking about in this month, how to bring more light. So I want to leave you with 3 things. Number 1 is you never know what it is that you do that will affect somebody else, that will inspire somebody else. And you're not necessarily looking at how you're going to inspire people. You're just living your life. I don't know that he was every single day and every single moment looking to inspire people. I feel like Dr. King was every single moment of every single day living his purpose. And that's why we're all so inspired. So what do you think your purpose is? So maybe you're not somebody famous or in the world, on the world stage, but you're somebody important who's doing important things. So what do you think your purpose is? And how could you let that purpose that you have, whether it's simply being a parent or being somebody who brings good things to your job or somebody who does things like what we're doing as coaches, it doesn't matter what your purpose is. Every one of us has one. And if you just think about what your purpose is, how will that change your day? How will that bring more light to what you're doing? Because you're safe and you are well, you are guided and protected, and everything you do is good. That's number 1. Number 2, how can you take care of yourself? Because Dr. King had to take care of himself to do the work he had to do. And he had people that helped him to take care of himself because his work was huge. And we don't have teams of people to take care of us or watch out for us. So it's left to us. So what can you do today for just a moment of self-care? 15 minutes minimum. 15 minutes to take care of yourself. And what can you do to think about taking care of yourself all the time? Because it makes such a difference. And number 3, to bring more light in your life. If you are in a place where you are just bombarded with snow, and it's tough for a lot of folks I have a sister who lost power, lost water. And, you would think that snow wasn't fun. And snow was fun for her. She's like, not a problem. We know what to do. We get snow from outside. We heat it on the stove. We have a wood stove, so we're warm. And we have water, and it's not a problem. We've got candles. That's amazing to me. So what can you do to enjoy this moment of snow? Maybe it's a school day, maybe it's a day off work because you couldn't get out of the driveway. So what can you do to enjoy these circumstances? Because I promise you, when you bring joy to whatever the circumstances are, you bring more light to your world. So I'll see you next time. And this is short. And you know what? It's perfect. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this. Even when I'm not at 100%, my heart is always here. So I'm Maya Beatty, and I'll see you next time.